LEXRAGE here in Lexington is all about welcoming guests to come and take out their inner frustrations after a bad day at work or even after a breakup. But this month, the business is asking people to break things for an even bigger cause.
We create a safe place to kind of destroy things and let go of, whatever chains that might be binding you to the past.
LEXRAGE manager Chris Singletary says the business loves to partner with numerous organizations throughout the area for different causes. And for Domestic Violence Awareness Month, LEXRAGE has been raising money for the nonprofit The Nest.
We'll be donating 60% of what we've sold this month from add-ons.
Through buying color bombs or other items LEXRAGE has for people to break, Ragers are able to give back to The Nest.
Everybody that comes through like these doors, whatever month it is, whatever organization we're working with, we have a conversation. And we don't put pressure on people, we just let them know. If we're not able to, raise money, we can still raise awareness.
Singletary adds that LEXRAGE does not promote violence, but they do offer a safe and healthy way that people can deal with their trauma.
I've never seen anything that compares to just the uplifting, freeing effect of doing something like this.
Singletary says their support for The Nest is not ending when the month does.
So any organization we work with, we don't ever stop advocating for. There's always going to be a footprint of The Nest here. So that will never stop. And if anybody wants to contribute anything monetarily to them, we'll make sure it gets there.
In Lexington, Alyssa Williams, WKYT.